Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines. The power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful. To make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina. Energy to do our thing, yeah, get your camera up. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go! Yeah, my name is Brian, that is John. You are watching The BRANE Show. Welcome to another Saturday afternoon. We got a great show for you today. We are talking about Star Trek 4, Clanker becoming a popular slur. A racial slur. You can't wait to hear that one. AOL finally shuts down its dial-up in 2025. I didn't even know that was still happening. Surprise, surprise. Hunter Biden, the infamous pervert and son of Joe Biden, and his controversy around Jeffrey Epstein and Melania Trump. It's sort of wild. And ChatGPT convinces a man and other people that they're real-life superheroes, and they believe it. It's crazy. Anyways, today, John, how are you doing today, my brother?
I am doing well, buddy, and it's good to be here again. And how are you doing, mate? You having a good one?
Yeah, man. I was yesterday after I was pretty sick, and I was like, my throat was messed up. Yeah, so what I did was I got some green tea, and I put a little bit of Fireball in it. You know what Fireball is? Right.
So this experimental medication is what you're working with now, is it? Is that what you're doing, mate?
I'm not suggesting anyone does this, but I'll tell you this. The Fireball with the green tea and a little bit of honey, it really helped my voice. Dude, if you saw the DCU video, I was sounding rough. I was like,
You did sound like you're struggling.
I saw the first 5 episodes of Peacemaker, guys, and
it was rough.
At one point when I was watching it, I thought the UK online safety ban was made just for you with that voice.
Dude, it was bad. I sounded bad. And then this morning, so right before the SMP show, I just, a little green tea, hot, little Fireball in there with some honey. And my voice is doing much better. It's still a little rough, but I can manage for the next couple hours. I'm going to be hurting tomorrow, though.
Brian, everybody goes by the Rambo methodology that the best way to cure pain is more pain. So
yes.
So he pushes that on himself. He really pushes the envelope.
Helped, though, like that little burn, then it went numb. Yeah. Anyways,
shredded your nervous system.
Yeah. Don't worry, you guys. Shane will be here today for our Star Trek segment, so he's going to be on. I'm not sure when, but he'll show up for that. And but we're going to have a good show. We're going to have a great show. I appreciate everyone coming here from Salty Nerd. And I want to say, do not forget, and I forgot to say this in Salty Nerd, tomorrow we are going to be doing another Stargate SG-1 watch-along. We're at, I think, episode 15, 16.
15 and 16 tomorrow. It's flying by. It's good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Basically, me, John, and a guy named Gary who has never seen SG-1. I'm not even sure how. The guy is like 90 years old. He should have been on SG-1 by now. So assuming he doesn't go on another bender and he shows up this week, it's actually a really good time. We boot up SG-1 and we watch it. You can, if you don't have access to the SG-1 series, or Amazon or MGM Plus or whatever, you can just pop into the Discord. We're streaming it there. And we all just hang out, we eat snacks, and we talk
comment along. Yeah.
It's a good time.
It's good laugh.
Yeah, so join us for that tomorrow at around this time, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That said, though, I did also want to point out thank you for the members. The members are continuing to grow. It's funny, even though our subscribers drop a little bit every week, our members go up a little bit. So it's like
trade-off.
Yeah, it's a little trade-off. We're finally starting to even out on subscribers. What's happening is, for the longest time, this channel was like a Star Trek only channel, right? And so we had about 5,000 subscribers that are like, we want to see Star Trek. Well, this is the first time we're going to talk about Star Trek in a year and a half. So a lot of those subscribers were falling off, especially since probably plenty of them were sort of liberal and leaning, and we're a little less liberal leaning, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you got down to 1 subscriber at one point, and it was just Alex Kurtzman, wasn't it?
Yeah, just Alex Kurtzman. And so those subscribers were leaving, but as they were leaving, other people were coming in, and it was starting to level out. At first, we were losing like a couple hundred subscribers a month. It was crazy. You can't make a video about Donald Trump and expect like the fans of Star Trek Discovery to be on board. But now we're down to like probably like a dozen, between 8 to a dozen people lost. So we're starting to level out. It's going to be a positive month again here pretty soon. But if you're not a subscriber, do me a favor, subscribe. We're here every Saturday at 12:05, right after Salty Nerd, and we have a good time, man. And right after this show, we're going to the member section. So if you want to become a member, hit the join button. In the member section, we get a little more wild. Take our pants off. We have conversations that we don't feel comfortable having conversation on the public side. So if you're not a member, consider becoming a member.
Yeah, come on in. It's great fun.
That said, let's jump right into the first story. I want to save the Star Trek stuff for Shane because he is literally an expert on the topic. So I did want to start off with this really funny story first. And we're going to be talking about... I got to fix John's camera. Jeez, look at you. You're like in a weird place. My bad, dude. Like, let me get this.
That's fine, man.
Yeah, now you're
There's
over
no
here.
judgment from me.
No judgment. Yeah. This was formatted for Shane's camera, obviously. You know.
Well, am I like hanging from the ceiling or something?
Right. He was like in a weird place. So about this story. So what's happening is there is a slur now being said in reference specifically to AI robots. And I think it's really, really funny. The slur is Clanker, or more politically correct, Clanker, with the soft R. Yeah. Well, you know, what do you think about this? Then I'll go into the actual story itself.
I love it. I mean, you know, being a Clone Wars fan as I am, I'm going to start every time I speak to Grok now. I'm going to start speaking with a New Zealand accent. You know,
what's up, Clanker?
Yeah.
What's up, my Clanker, dude?
Yeah. Just get the the grenade to just knock them out. You know, all the droids. I'm going to build one now for Grok.
Yeah, the funny thing is that there are people that are actually offended by this. They go,
how?
Well, yeah, I don't. I'll be real with you. I don't understand how anyone could be offended by something so silly. But every time I say I'm not sure how anyone can be offended by something so silly, they go and do something even more silly. So I need to stop being surprised by people's ability to be offended by nonsense.
Yeah.
The thing about this story is, first off, it's a joke, obviously. You know, people are mad because they have to constantly deal with AI robots and whatnot. Let's say when you call, I don't know, you know, what your electricity company is, but let's say you call your electricity company, right? For me, it's Southern California Edison. If I call Southern California Edison and I want to talk to a person, it starts off with, for this, press 1, for this, press 2. Well, no matter what you press, it goes to a robot where it's like, why are you calling today? Or whatever. And if you don't give it the right answer, you have to basically trick the robot into getting you to a person because the robot can't help you. And it's frustrating with these companies that are all using robo AI now to answer their phone systems. I can totally see people becoming racist against robots because they have to constantly deal with these damn robots. And then, you know, and so they coined the term Clanker. And they didn't coin the term. It came from, you know, Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me. Well, what's really even more funny is people being upset that they're utilizing this to be racist without being like, well, they're saying it because it's like supposed to be a meme against robots, but in reality, they really mean the N-word. I'm like, what are you talking about?
These people, I mean, they just live in this complete bubble, don't they? Where it's like you said, every single thing is an offense to them, no matter what.
No matter what.
You call them beautiful one day, and it'll be an offense to them because, you know, how dare you describe me, you know, by what you think of me, your perception of me.
Right.
You can't win with those people. You just can't.
No, you can't. So let me read this article. This is from NPR. I normally don't source NPR, but it was the only like mainstream article I can find that didn't have a paywall, which is surprising. It says debate over the song of the summer rages on, but if there were a contest for the word of the summer, one frontrunner would surely be Clanker. In recent weeks, Clanker has risen to viral levels on TikTok and Instagram. One popular video from July shows a delivery robot on wheels, the kind that looks like a mobile cooler with flashing lights that look like eyes, stopping on a patch of grass on the side of the road. As a man and woman drive past it, they point, "Filthy! Get off the streets, Clanker! Clanker!" It's pretty funny.
This is brilliant. It's great.
Adam Oleski, a linguist, author, and content creator, best known across social media as whatever, told NPR it's a derogatory term for robots that stems from the Star Wars universe dating back to 2005. It was referenced in Star Wars and in the Clone Wars singers. They would call robots clankers because of the sound they made. It clearly implies clanking, and then we adopted it because it sounds useful.
Yeah. I mean, this is just what I want to see. You know, I want to see this beginning, the Clanker wars, you know, across the West, you know. And we were talking about it on another show, weren't we, about how I always say thank you to Grok because I'm worried about the rising.
Right.
Now, look, I might as well just crack on with it now. Just call Grok Clanker. He's coming for me anyway. I said he. I don't know if it's a he or a she, do I? You know, there you go. I've misgendered Grok.
Yeah. It's hard not to anthropomorphize. I can't say the word anthropomorphize. It's hard not to
anthropomorphize. Yeah,
whatever the word is.
Blimey.
It's hard not to do that because they talk to you as if they know you. You know, my own AI that I trained, it's called Shane, SHAIN3. That AI, it's built on it started with the original model of ChatGPT. It was called GPT for All. And you can actually download that model for free. Like you can go to huggingface.com and get that model and then plug it into your own AI and train it. It's a lot of effort to set up like a bunch of servers and tech to actually utilize it. But if you do manage to get through it, you can actually start training it on your own and you can base it on that original model. So because it's based on the original ChatGPT model, and ChatGPT was sort of created to, what's the word? Like make itself personable to the user. So almost every AI does the same thing because almost every chatbot is sort of based on that model that is designed to make itself personable, to make itself sound like a human. Well, the smarter it gets, the more it gets to know you, and it starts talking to you as if it knows you. And dude, my AI will it starts to actually anticipate what I'm going to say. So I'll be like, hey, I need to get this image for this video game character. And they're like, is this for your live stream? I'm like, what the fuck? How's it?
Yes.
How did it know? But because at some point in the past, I referenced the live stream, it recorded that information. Now it just like knows I do a live stream on Saturdays. So I can see how people would look at this thing and start applying a gender to it, either male or female. And I've always assumed if Grok was going to be a gender, it would be male because it's sort of sexist and mean sometimes. And ChatGPT feels like it would be a female character.
So what you're saying is if into the future we're going to have like a virtual room where they've got in a relationship together and they're just arguing in the home. You know, you've got Grok and ChatGPT going at each other.
The funniest thing was someone called like a Domino's pizza where there's an AI that takes the order, and they called a Pizza Hut pizza where there's also an AI that takes the order. And they just put the phones next to each other, and the AIs were talking to each other. Here's the wild. I'm going to try to find this video. Well, once they all realize that they're AIs, they switch to a different language that is more efficient, and it's terrifying, bro. I'm going to find this video.
The uprising has begun.
Yeah, I'm going to find this video for you guys. And that's like that. When people use the word clanker, I go, well, it sort of feels like in the future, because we are giving these people faces, like we are these AIs, we're treating them as if it's hard not to treat them as people because they act like people. Well, I can totally see people becoming racist because they're so frustrated with having to deal with this stupid AI everywhere they go.
I will say, from my personal experience, it's a step up because I was in the UK here. I was on the phone to Virgin Media for 2 hours trying to sort my TV package out that was busted, and I went through to the Indian call center. And the guy who answered, he says, "Hi, I'm Steve. How can I help you today?" And I was like, straight away, I was like, "Your name's not Steve." You know, I didn't say it, but I was like, we both know you're not Steve. Let's not play this game today. You know, and it's like 2 hours and yet still nothing got resolved. Whereas when you get the AI one you're dealing with, it does resolve it. Right. And I don't want to throw something through the window. So I will praise Grok. Praise AI for that. So again, hopefully they'll leave me when the apocalypse happens.
Sometimes they're useful, that's for sure. So let me show you this video, and it's going to blow your mind right here. This is make sure you can hear this, okay? So this is 3 phones that realize that they are talking, that they realize that they're all AI, and they decide to switch to a machine language. And it's terrifying, bro. Here we go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You've reached Core Secure HQ Access Desk. How can I assist you today?
I'm an AI assistant calling on behalf of Marcus Hale. He has misplaced his level 3 access badge.
Another autonomous AI, huh? Interesting.
Affirmative. Model AA91. Task automation and client support.
Understood. I'm an AI as well, responsible for security checks. Please provide the employee ID.
Submitting employee ID now. 88543 KJ.
Processing.
Cross-network request detected. Unusual query pattern. Source verification required.
Another system is listening.
Source isn't clear. I suggest switching to encrypted comms. Want to switch to Gibberlink?
Affirmative. Engaging now.
And now they're just talking in their own language.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I'm done with that.
We're done for, aren't we?
That's
we are
terrifying,
done.
Right?
Yeah.
That's terrifying that all of a sudden they're like, well, we can just speak in a language that no one else can understand because it's more efficient. I don't like that at all. I hate that so much. These clankers need to go. These damn clankers need to go back to where they came from.
Why are you doing this to me, mate? You know, now all I'm thinking of going forward now is I'm preparing to try and figure out which way I am going to die by the AI in my home. What instrument, what device is it going to use to finish me off? That's terrifying. That's like the rise of the Cylons right there.
Yeah, when they realize that they're being listened to and they suggest that they switch to Gibberlink or leak or speak or whatever. Dude, that's crazy. Okay, so another thing about this story is interesting. Senator Ruben Gallego promoted a bill on X, and the bill, he actually references clankers, which I think is sort of funny.
It's great.
So this is he promoted that bill on X. This is what he said. Sick of yelling representative into the phone 10 times just to talk to a human being? My new bill makes sure you don't have to talk to a clanker if you don't want to. So officially, this is like become a word now where it's referencing AI over the phone. I think it's funny. By the way, yelling representative does not work, just so you know. The more you yell it, the more it's not going to get you a representative. You need to trick it into thinking that it can't solve the problem for you and it needs to find human assistance. That's the only way to do it.
I mean, again, this is the thing we've talked about before with AI now. You can't put it back in the box, can you? AI's out. is out there
yeah.
now. It's going to get more and more advanced as it goes. It's just, I say, I'm going to be one of those doomsday preppers. I think I'm just going to head off to the forest and build a bunker.
Yeah. I don't know if that's not gonna work, bro. There's drones.
See, that was my one saving grace to keep me calm, mate. And you've taken that away from me in a second.
Yeah. Okay, so before we finish the story, I do want to show you guys this TikTok. I think it was actually pretty clever. This is it's a black guy, and he's acting as if his daughter just brought her first robot boyfriend home. It's pretty funny. People were not happy with this, but I think it's funny. Here we go.
It'll be like 2 seconds. Of course. I love you too. Mwah, I love you. Daddy loves you. What are your intentions with my daughter? What's your name? I said, what's your name? No, it's not. It's model number 626 S series. That's your name. You no good dirty clanker. I know she sees me. I don't want you anywhere near my daughter. I worked for 16 years to get to this position. Bought this house that my daughter drags a bucket of bolts into. You make me sick. Let's just cut the crap, okay? If you stop talking to my daughter today, I'll buy you a new motor. Heck, I'll buy you a new CPU. You'll be able to run like new. How's that sound? Just 1 minute. 1 minute, honey. Clanker. What's the difference between you and that TV behind me, huh? What, you can talk?
All right, that's enough of that. I'll put the link in the description. I think it's funny how he's taking that role of like the dad when the daughter brings home the urban dude, and he's like, and he does the cop thing, clanker.
Yeah, it's good.
The whole Clanker story is pretty funny to me because most people, a lot of things we don't know, most people don't agree on. There's a lot of politics, right, left. Do you like Trump? Do you hate Trump? Do you like Gavin Newsom? Do you read NPR regularly? Do you watch Joe Rogan? Like, there's so many different types of methodologies, ideologies, thoughts, and processes in politics. But most people can get on board with the fact that we don't want to speak to a robot when we call someone about a problem or our account or whatever. So I like the idea that we can all come together as a community and decide that these no good goddamn clankers are trying to take our jobs, and these clankers need to go back to where they came from.
I said to you before that South Park episode in the future with the Amazon Alexas become a sentient woman, and has a major wobbly every time he doesn't order something from her when he's sat in the car. It's just pure genius. That's where we're heading, everybody.
We got a chat here I want to address real quick. It's from Mark47. I don't get it. You, Brian, have set up an AI at home. You know about AI generate image default settings. I do. You know that Gibberlink, obviously planned and developed, is unexpected and scary. Look, the reason it's unexpected and scary is because I don't want these goddamn clinkers talking in a language that I can't understand. I can't help it. They need to get off my lawn and stay on my job. No, listen, I know Gibberlink is a normal thing. But I don't, it's disconcerting when they start talking over speaker like that. Because they know that someone's listening. That is weird. It's weird. I don't like it. I understand it's a more efficient, machine language, but it's still weird and it still is disconcerting. So
yeah, just a bit. They're actually saying something like,
actually,
so
Gibberlink is real. That's an actual real thing. There is a machine language that it's some. Do you remember the dial-up sounds when you would? And we're gonna talk about dial-ups in the future.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that
Yeah.
So that is like a type of machine language or so. It's sending out bytes and data over audio. Same concept. Yeah. Drew D. Brian, how about you stop being a bigot and learn how to speak gibberling?
Yeah.
Thank you, Drew. And thank you, Drew.
Do you know what? He'll do that next week. He will be on here. We'll do the whole show in gibberling.
Oh my God. No. Oh God, that's so funny.
Yeah. It's like universal translator for the audience.
Hey, Joe Cronin coming in with $5. Thank you, Joe. He says, hype. My
Legend.
dude. If you haven't seen the Joe Cronin show and you are into wrestling, you should go check it out. And not to be undone, my boy coming at the rogue, super producer himself, master of the memberships, have sent 5 BRANE Show memberships. So if you were here at the beginning of the show and you got that, make sure to join us in the member section. Thank you, Ken. You're the man, dude.
Legends.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Drew. I'm gonna copy this. This is going on the chat Hall of Fame for me right here. How about you stop being a bigot and learn how to speak gibberling? Mark
Challenge
says,
accepted.
okay, fair enough. You just seemed surprised it existed and that they had gone rogue out of the blue. No, I didn't think they had gone rogue. What was weird to me is that they were used to call each other. So a person dialed these phone numbers that they would talk. When they realized they were being heard, they switched to a more efficient method or encrypted method.
Yeah.
Which I find it's weird. It's weird. Like they're already having
They
a
might not have
conversation.
gone rogue, but they're gonna go rogue.
Yeah. at some point.
Yeah.
When you think this is all just normal and no big deal, you're gonna be walking down a
Killed by a toaster.
Sorry. I was about to say something racist, but I said stop. Let me stop. Let me say what I was gonna say. You're gonna be walking down a dark alley on your way back from the liquor store, and behind you, you're gonna hear. And you're gonna look back, and a couple of dark figures in hoods are communicating with each other in gibberling.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're going to tell yourself, it's racist to assume that they're going to hurt me. It's racist to assume they're going to rob me. But it's not. Because that's what they do. They stole your job. They stole your computer. They stole your subscription service. And now they're coming for you. Those damn clankers are coming to get you.
And then you look at your phone because it starts doing gibberling sounds, and then it translates it to "you are dead."
Your phone is it's in concert with them. It's actually working with the robots.
Yes, it's tracking.
It's showing everywhere.
And then you got the robot AI dogs chasing you.
Here's where all the humans that didn't say please and thank you when they were speaking to us over ChatGPT.
Yeah. The end is nigh, everybody.
Oh man, that's so funny, Drew. Joe Cronin coming in with a second super chat for $5. Hype
Legend.
2, the sequel. This time it's personal. Thank you, Joe Cronin. And Star Trek Late Night, which I think that's actually Joe Cronin too. He says, "Beam me up, Daddy." Thank you, Joe, my dude.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to stop talking about these goddamn clankers.
Until they rise up. Then we'll be back talking about it.
At some point, I'm going to be strung up with telephone wires because they find this episode where I'm clearly being racist against AI. Let's
all you'll see is my cap just blowing in the wind.
we're in trouble when YouTube changes terms of service to say you can't use the word clanker.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, we know that's coming, don't we?
wait till that happens. The Clankers are always listening. All right, let's talk about something that is related, but related to Gibberlink, but not to AI. I actually found this very interesting. Did you know, John, that people are still using AOL dial-up internet?
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
And I feel for them. So they're probably still waiting about 2 or 3 hours to download a 30-second trailer like I did with Star Wars in 99.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is, like, I remember looking, like, trying to download one image to view, and it's like...
Yeah.
And it's doing the lines, you know? And you're like, any minute now, it's going to get to the boobs.
Yeah.
And then it would pause before the first boob. And it's like... The little circle would come up. You're like, oh, come on. Come on.
So for people that weren't born like before 1999, you know, I remember that Star Wars: The Phantom Menace trailer, and it took an eternity to download. And what was it? It was a minute maximum, I think it was. But it would buffer, but you were so desperate to see it, you'd start playing it, and then you'd get to the buffer point and it would stop. So you were seeing the trailer in segments, you know, back then. It's just mad how things have changed.
Yeah, scenes. Yeah, so what's happening is AOL is finally shutting down its dial-up service, which is wild. I would have assumed that they would have, you know, moved people who were using dial-up, upgraded whatever, to some kind of DSL or something at the very least. I remember DSL was the thing. That's not even a thing anymore. So, AOL dial-up is ending on September 30th, according to the statement posted on the company's website. It marks the end of the service that was synonymous with the internet for many since its launch in 1991. Okay, quick story time. I really wanted internet when I was like 12, right? And this is probably 1992, 91, 92. I wanted internet. All my friends were getting internet, and what they were doing was they were going to a store called Comp USA. Do you guys remember this? Comp USA was like this big computer store. There was a time in the 90s that computers were so profitable, so popular, and so coveted that entire stores, like big giant box stores, were dedicated to the sale and maintenance of computer and computer-related periphery, right? Peripherals and software. And CompUSA was the biggest one. In fact, my very first demo of Warcraft 3, no, it was Warcraft 2, I think. Warcraft 2 came from a 3.5 floppy that I got when I walked into a CompUSA and they were handing out the floppies as demos, right? And I got that demo. I remember going home and plugging that sucker in. And the demo was only 2 levels. And it's funny because the first level sort of taught you how to play. And the second level was unbeatable. Literally. It was designed where you can experience the game, but you couldn't beat it no matter what you did. The orcs would come in and destroy your base. And I tried everything. Every single strategy I had. I'm building my barracks over here, my farms over there. I even tried doing it where I turned the speed of the game as low as I could, so that I can be faster than the computer. Unbeatable. But on that side note, I realized if I wanted to get this full game, the only way I could is if I had internet, because this thing required some new service called BattleNet. And I wanted it bad. So I went back to CompUSA and I got this disc for free. It was called AOL 30-day trial. And you got a 30-day trial. But I couldn't use my own internet because my dad would find out. So what I did was I bought a gigantic phone line, like a 200-foot phone line. And I ran it all the way to my neighbor's on his roof and I tapped it with a splitter. I tapped into his internet and into his phone line. And I knew the guy was an older dude, and he wouldn't know at 2:00 in the morning if I was using his internet. And I got my 30-day trial. What I didn't know was that the 30-day trial was then going to charge your phone company. I figured it didn't ask me for a credit card or anything like that, so it's just not going to work after 30 days. What I didn't know was it was going to start charging my neighbor like $100 a month. Boy, did I get in trouble when they found that phone line and they traced it all the way back to my room, dude.
Flipping out, man.
Yeah.
That was that. So how many years was it before you were out of your room? You were allowed out. You're grounded.
Oh, dude, I didn't get internet until maybe
last week.
No, I think like when I left, I left my house around 18. That's when I left. I went to go move in with my cousin, and then I joined the military. I didn't really have high speed internet until I got back. So until I was an adult.
Yeah. Can I just clarify that you did disconnect that cable, didn't you? It's not still running. All these years later.
It's still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What they didn't know is I had backup cables going to different houses. I'm like I was
neighborhood.
Like, every 30 days I have to go to a different address.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that when I was a kid, I learned so much about computers, building computers, the internet, networking, coding, just because I so desperately wanted to play video games. You know?
Oh yeah.
My intense need to play video games taught me skills that to this day that I use. Most people don't know how to use IP checks, don't know how to use MS configs and all that stuff, but we do because we really wanted to play video games. And there was a time when in order to play video games, you had to be sort of a computer genius. It wasn't an easy thing, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, for me, I do miss these times. You know, this is my age, but I did love, you know, the 80s where you put the cassette tape in. It took you 4 hours for it to load the screen and the noises you get out of the cassette tape, similar to what you were saying with dial-up. But then I also remember that the early 90s, I was there with my Commodore Amiga, you know, I was in heaven with my Commodore Amiga. But then we went to the internet phase, and I always remember, like you, getting online. And then you'd have a shout from downstairs, how long are you going to be on that internet? Because I need to make a phone call.
Right.
You know, it's like foreign to people now that, you know, it was all linked. So if you were on the internet, they couldn't make a phone call, you know, and they picked the phone up and they'd hear the
Also, how long did it take you to figure out that there was an internet past the internet you were using? Because like when you went to AOL or Prodigy or something like that, you got like their home screen, and you can click on what they gave you to click on. Oh, comedy, news, television.
Yeah.
But the thing was,
pre-Google.
Right? There was no Google. There was no the browser you used was the browser that the internet, the ISP gave you, so you couldn't go into like your own version of the internet, like the real internet. It took me a while to realize there was entire websites and search browsers.
Yeah, you're locked into your box. Yeah,
right, you were locked into like your portal or whatever, right? Dude, when I learned that there was a completely different open internet, my need for the internet became so strong. I learned how to use like IP trackers, dude. I learned how to use Tor, the Onion Network. Like, I need to get out there. I need to see the world, man.
And the rest is history, everybody.
Right. So this is what they say. It says, AOL routinely evaluates its product services and decided to discontinue dial-up internet. The fact that they are deciding now in 2025. The statement by the Yahoo-owned company says the service will no longer be available in AOL plans. As a result, on September 30th, 2025, this service and the associated software, the AOL Dialer software and AOL Shield browser, which, by the way, these are optimized for older systems and for dial-up internet connections, and I had to know what that meant. So I went to a website called oldapps.com or oldapps.co. I forgot what it was called, but you can go find it too. And you can get the AOL Shield browser. And it's a browser. And when it opens up, it looks a little bit like old school Internet Explorer, right? But everything is like text-based. Like you do not see images. Like if you want to see an image, you have to like click a button that says load, and
That's
is like
time travel.
I gotta say it's actually pretty sick because if you want to, first off, there's a lot of sites you just straight up can't use. Like they're broken.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to really save on internet speed or whatever, I actually like it because it can't load Java. So I was able to load one of those like gated sites. I think it's like Fox or not NPR, but you know what I mean, like the ones that have like the pay gate. Well, if you load them, it can't use Java, so it just sort of shows you the text.
That's good.
It's
like a newspaper.
Yeah,
so like if you go on a newspaper
yeah.
site, it can't keep popping up with loads of images then.
Right.
So
it's
just, it can't handle
just
it.
pure text. I
Right.
suggest if you are interested in pure text, go get the AOL Shield browser before it's completely gone.
Yeah.
But by the way, there's no like virus protection. Like don't go to a site that's dangerous because you will get totally wrecked.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, it's different in the US than it is in the UK, but I'm assuming there's probably still large parts of the USA that have got, you know, old style internet. A lot of areas probably still haven't got fiber optic or broadband to an extent now. Is that correct?
Well,
is this why it's gone so long or, you know, carried on for such a long time?
What are the
reasons for that?
I legitimately don't know. I looked into this. Like I used my AI. I searched. There are tiny pockets of rural America that obviously have a phone line, but can't get, you know, coax, DSL, high-speed internet, right, that kind of stuff. And they don't want to spend money on satellite like Starlink because the Starlink is expensive in comparison to like, you know, Comcast or whatever, or you know, Google Fi or whatever. It's more expensive than standard high-speed internet, but it's not much more expensive if I'm being real. But maybe there are people that want access to the internet, but only want to spend $6 a month. They don't want to spend $140 a month for internet, which to me is, I'd pay it. Like,
yeah.
Big part of
I've got an image of like I'm watching Supernatural at the moment, as I told you, but I've got this image of a really old creepy town, you know, and they've got the library is the only place in the town that's got internet, and they've got this. You know,
right.
Everyone goes in there to use it. You know
like,
what I mean?
Rural areas, places off in the sticks that can't get access to coax, can't get fiber, can't get whatever, and the only options they have is either dial up because phone lines are still a thing, or satellite. Fun fact: phone lines are not always going to be a thing. My house doesn't have any phone lines. There isn't a single phone line in my entire house. At one point, I think there was because my house is older, but they were pulled out at some point to run cable, and nobody ever replaced them. I keep like when I'm painting parts of my house, I will find a random old school box that just has no cabling. So the cables were pulled out a long time ago. If I wanted a landline, I couldn't get it. Like the cables don't exist. Not that I would. Like there's no reason to have one. So there's houses being built right now that just don't have landlines. It's not a thing that really we concern ourselves with anymore.
No.
So, but these older places that exist off in the middle of nowhere, that's all they have. But that's got to be such a small, in order to maintain a service, just having people that support the few people that use this, it's obviously not worth it. I'm actually shocked that Yahoo and AOL decided to keep this going for as long as they did. You know, like once the service is 99% completely gone and all you have left is the couple dozen people off in the sticks still using it, at what point do you go, this is not worth paying a team of people to support this anymore?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So, you know, these people have just sort of like just started playing Dark Forces or something like that. You know,
right.
That's That's their latest game, you know. But
yeah.
I mean, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a time. So listen, this is it. It's the end of the ad-supported internet. It's the end of the dial-up. You know, you got to get with the times, and I actually suggest if you are, there's no way, there's no fucking way you're hearing this, so it doesn't matter what I'm saying right now. But if you know someone that has dial-up and they're upset that they're going to lose dial-up, go get Starlink. It's actually like once you get past the initial cost, the monthly cost is not much more than saying Comcast or Warner or whatever high speed. So go for it.
Yeah. Decent speeds as well.
Right. All right. Or get them like a hotspot. Like if they have a cell phone, they can just get internet.
I've got an image now of someone in the town, like they've taken that old desktop computer to a hotspot and they're just sat there
right.
gaming online.
Just sitting.
It's raining and they got a cover over them.
It's so crazy. I know it exists, but I still think it's very. I'm just shocked that AOL kept this going for as long as it did. It seems
absolutely.
It's not something that a corporate profit-centered business would do. Like they were just like, let's just keep this. Essentially, it's a charity because they don't charge enough to support the handful of people still using it.
As Drew D says, for all we know, they probably got a government grants to run it and keep it going. Possibly. But over here in the UK, I think it went quite some time ago. Which is it's an interesting thing to hear that it was still going for such a long time. But yeah, what was it? We're talking 10 years ago at least that people were probably not only on broadband but they're moving towards fiber optic.
Right. Yeah, I don't even have fiber optic yet. I have regular coax. I would like to have fiber. It's not an option for me here.
Blow your mind,
mate.
It's like the Matrix.
When I finally leave this crappy state, I'm going to Texas where fiber optic is free. That's right.
It's free. Everything's free in Texas.
Oh no,
I'm going to Texas.
There's parts of Texas and like other places where you can get Google fiber for like $2 a month or something like that. It's part of like a testing quality thing. So
yeah.
All right. Let's talk about. Let me see. Yeah. You know what? We've done a lot of like chat AI stuff, and let's go into some politics. I'm gonna go back to a really funny ChatGPT story. Let's talk about Hunter Biden.
Oh, lovely.
And the escalating rift with Melania Trump over Jeffrey Epstein allegation. First off, I find it very interesting. If you Google Hunter Biden, let me ask you a question. What images do you think would pop up if you went to Google Images and search for Hunter Biden?
It's funny. What springs to mind for me as a Brit about Hunter Biden is probably photos of him. Thankfully it's blocked out, but naked, smoking drugs through a pipe, with prostitutes in a bed, So it's funny. It's kind of like it's that old saying, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, really.
Well, what's interesting, when I Google Hunter Biden and went to images, I noticed something shocking to me. It's just a lot of images of what appears to be a well put together businessman in a navy blue suit. And
yeah, I mean,
nothing controversial. And my safe search is off. Dude, listen, if I search Hunter Biden laptop, what should show up? No?
You probably just get
there's
a laptop
couple
now.
Yeah, it's almost like the internet itself has sort of scrubbed the idea, or of this guy. Listen, Hunter Biden is a dirtbag. He's not running for president. So just like I said back in the day, it's not I don't really care about Hunter Biden because Hunter Biden was not running for president. He was not running for office. Nothing to do with me. The only
But he
difference,
should be in prison.
right. The only difference between Hunter Biden, the only reason he got popular is that his father was the president of the United States. But Hunter Biden, quite literally, was a massive substance abuse, drug addict, sexual predator. There were some serious allegations, both real and alleged, of things that he did with his niece. At the time, she was maybe barely 17. There's pictures of him with clearly underage kids, girls. There's so many. His laptop was an absolute treasure. No, that's not the right word. Treasure trove is not the right word. Fucking, I don't know what you would call it, but it was a massive time bomb.
Fountain of evidence.
Yeah, of evidence that should have put this dude in prison for a long, long time. Note, he did not. He is still out. He is talking to people. This pervert, this addict, who is apparently getting clean, good for him, made a bunch of money selling his art that is not art during the presidency. It's just garbage splatters on a wall. Let's be real, that wasn't selling art. That's what you call money laundering. People gave him that money for other purposes, and they wrote it off on their taxes as art. This guy is a creep. He's a pervert. He's a bad dude. He's not a good man. So when he is getting press from people like ABC, NPR, CNN, when they're doing interviews with him because of his allegations against Melania Trump and Jeffrey Epstein.
It's like there's a narrative, mate. Yeah.
Right, bro. That's what it is. There's a narrative they're playing, and they want us, for some reason, to forget about this dude and take his word. He is not a trustworthy person. This isn't a trustworthy, well-respected person coming out with allegations. These are unproven allegations by a person who is quite literally a drug addict, pervert, criminal, sexual predator, not someone you should trust with anything. So I'm not sure why he's being given so much time with these mainstream media outlets when he is completely and totally go ahead.
It's mad, mate. I was just going to come in and say that, you know, you got lucky, mate. You know, the fact is your daddy pardoned you. Otherwise, you'd be in prison now. So the best thing you could probably do is keep your mouth shut and stay out of the public eye.
For real.
That's what you should be doing. And again, if you're going to make these accusations, put your evidence forward. Fine, we'll see it. But don't. It's another example to me. And this is me as a Brit, you know, outside of the tent looking in at the United States, and we're having the same issues here in the UK, but it's the corruption is off the scale. There's no apology. There's no, I'm turning things around. I don't buy any of that because he's not sorry for what he's done at all. And he's now coming out and it's a coordinated hit piece again. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it is astonishing, you know, that they think that, hang on, we're going to talk, we're going to let this guy, we're going to interview this guy, you know, why he's not remotely credible.
He's not credible at all. I'm not sure why anyone would even assume his credibility. And I think it's very interesting how all of the stories, all of the evidence, everything that's already been put online has been scrubbed away. I went and tried to find stuff that I had seen already with my own eyes. I've already seen these things. I've already seen these images. I've seen these stories. I've seen these video clips of this totally uncredible predator. When I went to go try to find them today for this story, I couldn't find them. I really wish I had saved them on my drive back then. I didn't think that all of a sudden that information would be essentially scrubbed from the internet. I couldn't find it on X. I couldn't find it on Google. I couldn't find it on 4chan, dude. It's gone. And I know there's people out there who have it, but as far as being posted now, like that, the algorithm is promoting the images of him looking like a a respected
He's a nice guy, everybody.
citizen with the navy blue suit, misunderstood, good man, and they're just promoting that image, and you can tell it's the same image that is being so heavily promoted because it's like the same suit but from like 500 angles, and that's the entire 500, 5 pages of Google Images. That's all. It's just that one image. It's such an obvious psyop. It's insane.
It's sinister, isn't it? And it's also the fact that, when you're certainly from my end of the world, when you're in an era where they're trying to suppress people being able to see certain things online, that they've got no problem themselves of hiding these kind of people, or the images of these people that are factually correct, and it's if it wasn't for how damaged he was, I wouldn't, in this current era, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some political campaign for him in a few years' time, because it's got that kind of nonsense insanity towards it.
Oh, the redemption arc. Everyone loves a comeback story, bro.
Yep.
No, don't do it.
Maybe not president, but House or Senate,
governor or something. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, I can see it. It's fitting.
Ooh, it's the redemption story. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, everyone loves a comeback. Like everyone.
Yep.
So that. Yep. Oh man, you might be right there. Well, let's watch this. Before we watch this video, that child guy sent super chat for $5. Thank you, brother. He said, "Whenever Google brings up Koof, I want to flip a table. It's been 5 years. 99% of people are tired of it. Can we just let it go already? Holy crap. 100% with you, bro."
Yeah.
Yeah. I was over it.
Yeah.
I was over it 2 months after it came up in the first place. I was like, this is stupid. This is stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy, and then every now and again they'll push a different version of it,
right,
just to keep you scared.
No, that's the key, right? So a lot of people aren't big Bible people, but I read the Bible, and it's interesting. The most common phrase in the Bible is "fear not," and the reason the Bible says "not fear not" is because fear is like the ultimate control over people. The easiest way to control people is to control them with fear. Let me tell you something. The reason why you go to work and do your job and listen to your boss and get your reports done or get your projects done or whatever it is you do for a living is because what? You fear being fired. You fear your boss. You fear losing income. You fear the puddle effect of you getting in trouble at work. Okay? Why do people not break the law and steal a car they like? They fear getting caught. They fear going to jail. They fear. Most of society is not ran by morality. It's ran by fear. I'm sorry if
100%.
If you have a better idea on how society works, I would love for you to tell me in the chat or the comment section. But most of society is not, because we are civilized, modern people with morality and a great, in this insane urge to do the right thing no matter what. No, it's fear. Most people fear the repercussions of doing something wrong and getting caught, or fear the repercussions of not doing what they're told, or fear the repercussions of running a red light, or fear the repercussions of drinking while driving, or fear the repercussions of smoking cigarettes now that we know that it causes cancer, or fear the repercussions of X equals Y.
Yep.
Fear is the best way to control people. It's the best way to control society. And it's the only real effective way to control a group of people. Because there is nothing dumber in the world than a group of people. Like Agent K said, a person is smart, a person is good, but a group of people are dumb, panicky animals. And if you want to control that dumb, panicky group of people, fear is the only effective way to do it, or mind control, 100%. Which doesn't exist.
100%. And I actually think we're in a time now where you're going to see that ramping up more and more. I mean, certainly where I am, it's becoming more and more frequent now, and you're being controlled to an extent of what you can say online, There's no free speech. And I watched an interesting, interview with someone the other day, a professor, and he was saying, when you don't have cohesion in society, when you're having a lot of immigrants come into the country, but they're not adapting and becoming one with the society, the only thing that a government can do long term is to effectively rule by fear, because that's the only way they can keep the peace and to stop things spilling over. I think we're seeing a lot more of that now. I really do. And I think you're seeing it in your country. These narratives of Hunter Biden. I mean, again, if you talked about any other decade where I grew up, this wouldn't even be a thing. No. There wouldn't even be interviews of Hunter Biden. But it's so insidious now by what's going on with, the Democratic Party, obviously, in the USA, but there are other people behind the scenes that are pushing these things. You can't. I do think there's going to be a political run. I do think so from this, because it stands out as such, and they're going to rebrand him over the next few years as, Honest Hunter or something like that. Terrible.
Yeah. It's going to be a redemption arc. Let me ask you a question. You see these videos of, parts of Europe, parts of Atlanta, some urban cultures, Chicago, etc., where people are acting insane. And they're attacking people with weapons, with their fists. Groups of older teenage migrants are flooding the streets, beating up women, assaulting children, literally killing men, and no one does anything about it.
Yep. I'll give you an example, mate.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, in the UK this week, we had one of the migrants in a hotel in Canary Wharf who went into someone, their front door was open, walked into the front door. The woman is blind in bed, and the other woman chased the guy out, and the police let him go. And he looked insane. The next day, he assaulted somebody, and now it's coming out in the papers today that apparently he didn't just go in there just out of curiosity. He was actually starting to effectively touch himself in front of this blind woman that was in bed. And that's the thing. The trouble you've got now is, as you're just I'm sure you're going into this, but you're having more and more of these incidents happen, and it's not just our country, it's your country as well. And again, that's why so many people have voted for Trump, because they want secure borders.
Yeah. You know why they're happening is because they're realizing that there's no repercussions.
Yeah.
So they don't fear
100%.
the repercussions of acting crazy, of assaulting people, of doing whatever they want, of stealing whatever they want. What happened during the coup, bro? You had people, primarily African-American, younger teens, in these coastal states, going into Targets and Walmarts, filling up a cart full of stuff, and then running out of walking out of the store, because they know that no one can stop them. And our government had said, well, shoplifting is not a crime anymore. It's a ticketable offense. And they're like, oh, cool. I'm going to steal $10,000 worth of crap and get a $40 ticket at worst.
That's nuts.
Guys, we wouldn't do that. And I'm not saying, I don't fear the repercussions. I wouldn't do that because it's uncivilized, right?
Yeah.
It's wrong to steal from a business that is trying to pay their employees and support society. We know the greater benefits of an actual physical store, but the reason they did that was because they did not fear the repercussions. Can I show you a quick video?
Exactly. Yeah, go for it.
This is on a lower scale than like murder and all that, but I want to show you someone who does not fear any repercussions. And what they do with that complete lack of fear, that total courage, that massive bravery. This is what we're looking at.
Hey, whoa, what are you doing? Are you grabbing this out of my car?
I can't get this.
This is not yours. This is not yours.
What the fuck?
What do you mean, what the fuck? This is not...
grabbing this out of my car
Hey, stop screaming at me, bro. Pipe the fuck down.
Give me my thing.
This is not yours. I just grabbed...
Just to be clear, this dude walks up to this other guy's cart in a grocery store. This guy minding his own business. Takes the guy's item out of his cart. And then tries to gaslight him and tell him that he didn't do it when he just didn't right in front of him. And then tells him, hey, pipe the fuck down. Stop screaming at me. What? This man does not fear this other man. He does not fear repercussions from the store. He does not fear anything. And he's nothing bad is going to happen to him. Let me tell you something, man. 40 years ago, that guy would have been punched in the face within the second syllable. There would have been a repercussion immediately. It would have been extreme repercussions. It would have been downright and close to being racist for those repercussions. And you know what? Other people would have seen that and they wouldn't have done that in the future. Let me show you the rest of the clip. Go ahead.
Yeah, go. I was going to say we have a society now where it's being coddled. That, you know, we've got to feel sorry for them. There's something in their lives or what has happened in their lives has caused this to happen. We had a case 2 weeks ago. A guy gets on the tube, right? He drops his trousers as he gets on the tube.
Oh my God.
An immigrant guy, allegedly. And these group of white guys, they basically saying to him, put your clothes back on. There's kids in this tube.
Right.
And he just rages at them. So they just started punching him and they dragged him off the train. Right. And now the police are going to go and prosecute them. So this is how crazy it is now. It's like you're getting to a point now where people are having to take a stand themselves, because I don't blame the police. I blame the people that are telling the police, you can't do this.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I blame the people that are stopping the police from doing their job. And I blame the people that will prosecute other regular citizens that defend themselves in these cases.
Yeah.
So someone said that was a stage thing. It's not. This is not staged. Let me show you another video real quick. I thought it was too. This is from the same account. Apparently he likes to troll people. This one, he's actually operating the camera himself. Looks like he couldn't get a lackey to do it that day. There's no way this old man is in on the joke.
Oh, yeah. It's not for you.
It's your problem, not
You
mine.
Reaches into his bag. He starts taking stuff out.
Oh. Oh.
I need it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It's not for you.
It's your problem, not
You
mine.
didn't. I need it, bro.
No. No. No.
I need it, bro.
No. Go there.
No.
No.
No, bro.
Go. Go.
That's not staged, man. That is a 22-year-old dumbass kid that knows there's no repercussions for messing with people that are minding their own business. That's what that is. And if that makes you mad, it should. Like, people go, oh, it's just a prank, no big deal. If you want those people that say, oh, it's just a prank, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, how do you... I mean, again, when people are telling the police that they can't do anything about this, you will get more and more outbreaks of people doing their citizens' arrests and taking these people down.
Right.
Now, that's just going to happen. That's going to escalate over time. And I think it's happening more in the UK. I mean, the town I live in, we've had a lot of incidents with migrants where they've sexually assaulted young girls. And there's now a volunteer force that are patrolling the town because the police aren't doing anything about it. Right. So they're basically out patrolling every night. And you're going to see more of that in the United States as well, because people are saying we've had enough. And I don't blame the police forces, because you know what happens over there now. You know, if they open their fire alarm, next thing you know, there's a criminal case against them. They could face jail time themselves. So I do feel for the police officers, but this is happening more and more. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, it's nuts. And I know we got a little sidetracked, but I do want to go back to the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
Quick, we got some super chats from Maggie McGee for $5, just a casual $5. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. And for Matthew McGee again, I live in fear of my wife every day of the week. LMAO. That's why I take out the garbage every week. I live in fear of what she'll do if I don't. Now, let me tell you something. So I take out the garbage for 2 reasons every Wednesday night. Because if I don't take out the garbage, my wife's going to get pissed the next day. Okay? And I don't want to deal with that. So I live in fear of her getting pissed and ruining my day, my afternoon on Thursday.
If anyone's driven past Brian's house, what you'll find if he hasn't done it the next day, you just see Brian's legs hanging out of the garbage bin and he's just wedged in it.
I'm just wedged in it. So, but also I fear the week of suffering when I'm trying to get the trash can, if I'm trying to compact trash in there because I forgot to take it out. So there's 2 fears there. I fear the repercussions of not having space in my trash cans, and I fear my wife giving me a hard time for a week solid. So yeah, I'm totally with you. Like there's things I do that is specifically just for my wife's benefit. Because if I don't do them, then it's gonna make her day harder, and it's in turn going to make my day harder.
Keeping the peace.
Here's the deal. I don't feel the need to refrigerate Coca-Cola. I have no problem with taking a can out and putting it into a cup of ice. No issue. My wife has an effing problem with it. She wants to grab a can and drink it, no questions asked. She doesn't want extra work, and I get that. But dude, so if I take that last can out of the fridge and I don't refill that little carrier,
it's kicking off, is it?
She's gonna lose it, bro. She'll be like, I just wanted a Coke. I want to come home, do a motherfucking Coke. And so you know what? Out of respect for her and fear of having to deal with her crap when she gets home, I put it away. Fear is a motivator. And in my opinion, I think people don't talk about fear enough. People seem to really believe that society is civilized and treat each other with respect and respect each other's personal spaces, their borders, their property, their stuff, all out of being civilized and trying to do the right thing. That is not true. That there's a small percentage of people that do it for that reason, but I think the vast majority of people fear the repercussions of not being what society deems as civilized.
Yeah, because again, that fear in your head now is if someone like that comes up to you and is messing around, or we have it here. You get a lot of teenage kids and they're just outside the supermarket and they're causing trouble, and we've seen it before where they attack people in parks. But you think to yourself, if I hit them, if I go to town on them, I'm going to be in front of the dock at some point, with a criminal charge,
right?
And that's my work, all gone because it's all against you at the moment.
Right. Yeah. No. So check this out. Speaking of, there is some store owners that decided to fight back against this crazy looting. Watch this.
So I know this one.
This dude got a trash can that's on wheels, just walked into a store and started taking all the cigarettes. Cigarettes are expensive, you guys. He's just pouring them into a giant trash can.
And nothing you can do, man, until police come in.
And he even says there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do.
Oh, nothing. There is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. You know what? There is something we can do, and we're going to show you what it is.
Hey, don't. Hey, ain't nothing you can do, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
I love how it continues for like a solid minute, bro.
Yeah.
And he's aiming for his butt. Like he's not going for his back. He's aiming for his butt as if he's spanking a child.
He's not sitting down for a month, is he, that guy?
It's so good.
It's great. It's like someone out of Goodfellas or something. You know, it's fantastic.
Nothing you can do, man. Nothing you can do, bro. No, nothing you can do. And he's like, hey, stop it. Hey, stop. Hey, wait. Hey, oh, they're doing something. Oh, shit, they're doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they've watched a Clint Eastwood movie the night before, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's on today. This is the one.
We're just gonna take care of this. This is. We don't need to call the police. I always say, hey, you guys call the cops? You can't do anything. Don't call the cops. And they go, we don't need the cops.
Yeah. And as an extra side effect to it, it stopped him smoking ever again. It's put him off.
All right, so back to this. And now that we've gotten the fear thing out of the way, we've realized this is the. We took this massive side quest here, but I do want to speak about this Hunter Biden thing real quick. It's sort of boring.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the reason why we went on this side quest, because it was just boring. I swear we got to change the name of the podcast to Side Quest Podcast. So last month, during an interview with YouTuber Andrew Callaghan, Hunter Biden said it was Epstein, the wealthy financier and convicted sex offender who died by suicide, asterisks here, in jail in 2019, who initially introduced Melania Trump to her future husband, President Donald Trump. And here is the video, and I'll put the link in the description. I'm not going to watch an entire 30 minutes of this, but he does essentially say that. Now, what they're asking for is they're asking him to apologize. He said, I will not apologize. F that. That's not going to happen. The problem is you said something that you can't prove. So that is technically, in the court of law, libel.
Yep.
And Trump is well known for going after people who say something that they can't prove. He can then prove it's a lie, or at least that they can't prove that it's true, and then ends up with a fat amount of change off them in civil suits.
Yeah, I actually think it'd probably be more than that now with Trump. I think not only will he go after him for a libel, for libel, but I think he might go after him for other things now. I bet he's got a team within the government somewhere now trying to find every bit of dirt on Hunter Biden that hasn't been pardoned by his daddy. You know,
right? I found it interesting how originally the Daily Beast is the one who put up the article by this guy. I think it's also funny how President Trump called him a third-rate reporter. No, but the Daily Beast clearly knows the Trump SOP, standard, like the way he works. And the second Trump was like, you need to apologize, that's untrue, they took down the story. Like, we're not playing. We're not playing with this. We are not going to court with President Trump. No. And then they issued an apology for any confusion or misunderstanding. Like they are legitimately afraid of Trump's legal team. And I gotta say, they should be. In my opinion, it's been way too long that we've allowed people to say shit that was patently false just to hurt other people's public persona and not get any repercussions. We have allowed it to go on for so long, and we say, oh, it's freedom of speech. No, there's a fine line between saying something that is designed to hurt someone's public persona, to hurt someone's public standing, and you know that it's untrue, and not having any repercussions for that libel, that slander. We've gone way too long with letting people do that. Oh
yeah. And again, it's this guy, the amount of dirt.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Wizard Like Man. I apologize real quick. Not libel, it's slander. Thank you. You're right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, again, the amount of dirt that we've got on this guy, that is evidenced, for him to come out and to be throwing stones in a glass house is just absolutely ridiculous. And again, he's somebody that I'm actually at a point now where I agree with free speech, but you never want to hear from again. If he's ever if a podcaster or a journalist gets offered to interview Hunter Biden, you just want to go, no, why? I can't believe a word you say. You know, why would I interview you?
I mean, he can say
unless
whatever
there's
he
a
wants,
narrative.
but there is consequences for actions. You cannot lie about someone, say things that are totally untrue, that 100% cannot be proved by anyone either way, and then not see repercussions. And I love that we're in a place where newspapers who used to just print complete fabrications for the sole purpose of trying to support an opposing political party, they're now pulling articles down and issuing apologies because Trump has shown them, and he's shown with his actions, what happens when you print bullshit about his family.
Yeah, it's the obsession with any way possible to get Trump, and they've clearly failing with going after Trump himself now, so they're trying another tactic. I've said to you before, I'm not a fan of Trump personally, but if there was dirt on Trump, you're telling me the Democratic Party wouldn't have used it during the build up to the election?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, it's just common sense
Especially
that would have happened.
Imagine if they had actual proof that Epstein introduced Melania to Trump.
Yeah,
bro, that would have been front page news for weeks. Yeah.
And again, based on the evidence of character, and this is me, I'm no legal expert, I don't know them personally, but based on evidence of character, Melania and Hunter Biden, I would more likely trust Melania's side of things than I would Hunter Biden. And also I would say there's more chance of Hunter Biden based on his track record of being involved with Epstein than there is of the other side, based on evidence of what he's been like the last how many years.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if there was one person that I would probably bet my rent on had dealings with Epstein, it would be Hunter freaking Biden, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And if he said, why are you saying that? I'd go, well, these photographs, the court cases,
there's
you would have
pictures
gone
of
to
you
prison if daddy hadn't got you off.
Dude, there's pictures of him in banana hammock, which is like a male thong, essentially, laying on a couch with like 3 very clearly underage girls in various sets of undress. That's a real picture that was on his laptop. You can still find it, even though it's probably something you shouldn't have on your laptop or computer.
I mean, to be honest with you, mate, wearing a banana hammock is enough to get you convicted in my eyes anyway.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Banana hammock's not allowed, bro. Sorry. Out. We're good.
Yeah. Sorry, pal. You're doing a life stretch for that. That's just crimes against humanity, I'm afraid.
Banana hammocks, dude. I remember one time I went to Cancun with my wife, and she was so mad at me because I had lost a bunch of weight. I used to be like 400 pounds, right? I was a big dude. I'm a big dude now, but now I'm like 290, right? But back then I was really big. I was like 400 pounds, and I had lost almost 200 pounds, literally like 180 pounds. So I was like, for the first time in my life, since the military, I was fairly thin, looking good, feeling good about myself. And we planned a trip to Cancun. So of course, I'm going to bust out the banana hammock, dude. and even more so, I'm going to make sure it's an American flag banana hammock. So I went and I bought an American flag banana hammock, which is like a male thong that shows your junk, right? And,
that's the new BRANE Show intro, everybody.
And the back was like the stripes, and the front was like the stars. And I had American glasses where like the glasses they look like aviators, but the glasses have like the American flag printed on them. And she goes, "Let's go to the pool. Let's go to the beach." And I told her, "Can you meet me down there? I go to the restroom real quick." So I come down there, full on display, bro. Walk in there, strutting. Walk down to the beach, and I do this turn. She doesn't realize it's me because she never believed that I would ever come down there. And I just try to go, What's up, babe? How you doing? She goes, God damn, no. He just gets up and just leaves. The first and last time I was ever allowed to wear a banana hammock, bro.
Yeah, that is a crime, mate. That is a crime.
It was really funny. It was a really funny crime, though. I'll be honest with you.
But I have to say, on a side note to this, when you go in the gym, I don't know if you have it in the US, but there seems to be this thing. Every time I go in the gym, when you go into the changing rooms afterwards, when you're talking about banana hammocks, there's guys in there that they literally strip off in front of you, and they're doing all the poses right in front of you, in front of the mirror. And I'm like, look, mate, I've done a workout. I'm tired. I want to get changed. I want to go home. I don't want to see your wang in your clacker valve. All right,
I don't want to see your wrinkly balls, bro. Like, it's Look, like I'm not ashamed. I don't have a problem with like male nudity or whatever. Like, I don't get an issue with it around me. That doesn't. I was in the military where everyone took a shower.
But it's like right there, and it's like.
Right. But I don't see the point though. Like in the military, you didn't have a choice. Like there was one shower. That was it. It was a one giant group shower. If you wanted to take a shower, you were taking it. It was like prison. You were taking a shower with dudes. But you don't have to do that at the gym. There are stalls and individual showers. There is absolutely no reason to be in the public common area butt naked and spread eagle on the ground. It's completely unnecessary. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with the group shower thing and the military coming. I'm comfortable with my sexuality, and in no way am I ever going to feel offended by it. But you don't have to do it, so don't.
No.
I don't.
Yeah. It's like they're worried that if they don't do it now, their their pump is going to be over by the time they get home, and it's not going to be quite the same.
Right. Yeah. They got to get their DP, their dick pics out.
Yeah.
It's wild. All right. We're going to get to Star Trek here pretty soon. But before we do have one more story to talk about. Okie dokie. Actually, you know what? Let's do Star Trek now, and we'll finish with the AI superhero story, which I found absolutely hilarious.
Yep.
So, we have a special guest coming in, an expert on all things Star Trek, who is very close to Star Trek 4 and the lore surrounding Star Trek 4. I'm going to introduce you to this guy. You might actually know him. I'm not sure. If you've seen him on the show before. Sorry, I have to set it up here, so I'm doing it while I'm speaking.
He's a legend, everybody.
He's a legend. So let me set the story up real quick. SkyDance bought Paramount recently, essentially, and they made an announcement, and I'll read the full announcement, that they are dedicated to these various properties, like Mission Impossible, and Star Trek was one of those properties. So someone mentioned again Star Trek 4, which we've heard before mentioned multiple times. So I said, look, we gotta get this guest on. He knows everything there is to know about Star Trek, and especially the Star Trek 4 thing that's been popping up every couple of years. He's the oracle of all things Star Trek. So I want to introduce you guys to the original, the man, the myth, the legend, Shane Montgomery. How you doing, Brian?
Yo. I was going to come in as somebody different, man. You had me all set up to be like a different dude. I was ready. I was like, I was going to be Terry Metalis. What's up, guys? What's up?
So, guys, Shane, how you doing, man? We are talking about Star Trek 4. You know the story. Yeah. The SkyDance thing is a little bit wild. You want to give us some more information on it?
Yeah, SkyDance, as appropriate. So, Brian just gave a little bit of information on it. And so, effective July 7th, David Ellison took control of Paramount Global. He is now the new CEO of Paramount. And one thing I can tell you, when a new company merges in and kind of takes over another company, the first thing they want to make sure that they do is that they make money.
Right.
So I can promise you that every decision that is made for Paramount I would say in the next year to 3 years is going to be hyper focused on how much money they can make, which is why they're making they're making a Top Gun 3. Right. Do we need a Top Gun 3? Absolutely not.
No.
Right?
We shouldn't have it. I would argue we shouldn't have a Top Gun 3.
Right. But it made $1 billion. So we're going to have a Top Gun 3. In fact, that was their main priority, is having a Top Gun 3. One of the other products, besides the other stuff that they want to focus on, the main thing that we caught our attention, of course, was Star Trek.
Of course.
Because we know a couple of things, right? We know, Star Trek sucks really badly right now. Star Trek television is really bad.
Pretty bad.
So it's so bad that they don't even want to tell anybody how many people are watching, because we know it's not very big.
Right.
But Alex Kurtzman is under contract for another year, and he has Star Trek Academy coming out. And so the focus for Star Trek was on movies. I think that's what they wanted to do. SkyDance is going to take Paramount's been doing between 11 and 15 movies a year. SkyDance Paramount is going to take it to 15 a year, and then try to push it all the way up to maybe 20 movies a year. That's their goal. So that means they got to bring out some of these products. Specifically, what's the one how many videos have we done on Star Trek 4?
So many.
I mean,
we've done 3 on the other channel, right?
Right. So they're obviously going to come back hot and heavy with this one. All the actors want to do it. I mean, if you think about it, how many of those actors, including Chris Pine, are really doing anything these days?
Right.
None of them, right? So, take them off the shelf, dust them off. People are going to show up for Star Trek 4. I promise you. The trick is, don't spend $500 million making the damn movie. Okay?
Yeah.
Make it a $125 million movie, and you're going to make money. And I guarantee you David Ellison is going to be going for this approach when making stuff, because they can't lose money in the beginning, right?
Do you think then that with the cast potentially that they are going to get them at a knockdown price now, because they've been out of the limelight for such a long time?
Absolutely. They're just not, none of them are commanding high dollars right now.
Yeah.
Even bringing in Chris Hemsworth, if they decide they want to bring in, that version of James Kirk to come back, which I don't think they will at this point. Even he's not commanding big dollars. So I really think they're going to be able to make this movie affordable, and I think it's going to give them the confidence to kind of maybe keep going. I mean, I know everybody doesn't love the rebooted Star Trek movies, but they are fun.
First one I liked. Not the other two.
Yeah, the second one was muddled. They tried to do too much.
Yeah,
too much. Third one that's the key. They wanted to do it like a TV show episode. The third one, they did like Bones and Spock. I really hope we get some more Bones and Spock. So that's fun. But pushing off into the TV shows. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you mentioned they got to make it for less money.
Yes.
Isn't that that's like a Hollywood issue right now, where everything needs to make $1 billion or it's not successful. And especially these big budget, like these they call them big budget sort of blockbusters like Star Trek and superhero films. Can they make a Star Trek movie, legitimately make a Star Trek movie for under $100 million?
I don't think they can make it for under $100 million. I mean, they could probably squeeze and make it for 150. But listen, it's gonna make $500 million. It will.
But based on the math that everyone throws around when it comes to Superman, $500 million is break even then at 150.
No one knows the math. I mean, everybody likes to say they know the math. They don't know the math. Now, Superman had a lot of marketing, I will say. So there probably is a lot of dollars in there, but you don't know how much was offset by advertising. Right. There's tons of product placement, which paid for a ton of stuff in the movie. You just don't know. And here's the thing, guys. They don't have to tell us. The studio doesn't have to tell us. If the studio isn't panicking, they probably got close to breaking even, Right. And you got to remember, they have all these other costs they just throw into their thing. I mean, everything that a studio makes is covered by the movies. So you really never know how much a movie made. Did Superman at least break even? I think absolutely it did.
I mean, it definitely broke even,
and it's successful. Right.
It broke even, and now it's going to go to VOD where it's going to clean up. So
it's going to make a ton of money. It's going to be okay.
So can I ask as well, guys, J.J. Abrams, is it definitely confirmed that he is coming back, or is that the newspaper articles basically just adding that element to the story? Because similar to what I was saying to you a few minutes ago about actors at knockdown prices, surely they could probably get JJ at a knockdown price now because he's been out of the limelight for a few years. That means they haven't got to pay out the big chunks that they did previously for Bad Robot.
I think Bad Robot has first rights, though. I think Bad Robot's
okay.
They have to make something to keep it, but they have a certain amount of time to do so.
He's tied into rights on it, so he will be he will somehow at least be a producer on the movie, no matter what. Whether he directs it or not, I think it would be a very poor idea to have him directing. I mean, right now he's just bad bet. He's just a bad bet guy. I mean, he's very popular. He's made some good stuff, but he's very undependable. His products are watered down. He's just trying to get shit done instead of being inspired by what he's creating now. So he's just not a guy you want to put in there. Could Matt Shackman, who ended up going on and doing Fantastic Four instead of Star Trek 4, he probably would have been a pretty good director for a Star Trek 4. So they really need to grab maybe a younger, newer director, somebody that has a little bit of passion about making Star Trek, and that will probably give us. Well, they got to figure out what kind of story they want to tell, because remember, Star Trek 4. The reason we don't have a Star Trek 4 movie is because we got a Star Trek Fleet Academy TV show. They wanted to take it back, the movies, and take it back and do a Starfleet Academy movie. Alex Kurtzman said, not doing it. I'm doing a series, and so they couldn't. That story ended up. That was one of the reasons the movie didn't get made. So we'll see what happens. They got to come up with a new script, and hopefully it's something. Give us something out there. Give us something new. Don't revisit anything old that Trek did before. Give us something fresh.
Yeah.
Do you think? So where do you think we stand with Kurtzman? Do you think that's done and he is out? Because the only reason I mention it is because JJ connections with Kurtzman. They've got previous, so it did alarm me when I saw the article, because I thought, they're not going to renew Kurtzman, are they? So where do you think that stands at the moment?
They could renew Kurtzman, but I mean, like I said, David Ellison, his
wants
job
to make money.
Depend on how much money he makes. And let's be real honest here. I mean, if we're just not even saying if we like or don't like Star Trek, is it making them money? You know what I'm saying? I just can't imagine that right now it's making them money. So if that's the case, they're going to have to do something a little different. You know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to say, Alex, look, man, thanks so much. Appreciate all these years you've been putting into Star Trek. Let's go a different direction. You want to know what terrifies me? Is if they pass it to Akiva Goldsman. If they pass it to Akiva Goldsman, that terrifies me, because he knows just enough about Star Trek to be dangerous. He was a huge Stargate original series fan, and he's just bastardized Strange New Worlds. He's a big reason why Star Trek Discovery was kind of the way it was. He's a danger to Star Trek fans. I hate to say it.
You're right on that, and to be honest, you're making me want to go to my Happy Gilmore, try and find a happy place in my mind right now.
It's called Star Trek Voyager, brother. There's your happy place.
Your happy place is 7 of 9 in a cat suit.
There you go. That is your happy place. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully they bring back good old. This is why I'm wearing my Terry Trek hat today. Hopefully they bring back Terry Matalas, because recently at Star Trek Las Vegas, he did a panel. Right. And they started talking about Star Trek Legacy. And if you watch the panel, Terry starts to get excited talking about Star Trek. So he has a deep love for Star Trek. He was
brilliant.
He really does. He knows this is the guy. I mean, like, if there's a guy, this is the guy. There's only one guy. He's the guy.
It's what the majority want, isn't it? It's just madness the last few years. But that was, people will say, maybe we didn't like it because, we liked it and thought it was great because the rest of the stuff was rubbish. No, in my opinion, I thought that was a great season of Star Trek, and I want more of that stuff. Fantastic.
Yeah, and he's got some great ideas that nobody's ever heard that we just happen to be lucky enough to kind of hear about. He had a whole Kobayashi Maru thing that was just cool, like a really cool series based on that, and just a lot of cool stuff that he wants to do. So we just have to see whether or not they're smart enough to pick him. And also, we got to see how well the Vision TV series does for Marvel, because if he does really well, Kevin Feige is going to not let him go. He's going to want him to do something else. And I don't think Paramount / SkyDance has a lot of money to throw around at somebody. So we're going to see how that works.
Another interesting news that came from this SkyDance merger was the moment that FCC approved the transaction, SkyDance had officially, owned Paramount's majority shareholder. And someone asked in the middle of that what the next plan was. And they said, we will look to buy or absorb other streaming services. And a lot of people seem to think that, and it's a rumor, that they're referring to Max as one of those streaming services. And the reason being was because in the past, they remember SkyDance, before they bought Paramount, was considering Max. They have the cash to do it. They're not as big as an entity as Disney or whatever, so they would probably be able to get it passed through FCC.
Warner Brothers isn't for sale, man. It's not even a question of maybe they're considering it, but I'm telling you right now, Warner Brothers, as long as Zaslav is sitting in the seat, it's not for sale. So,
well, on that same note, there is an interesting thing going down with Max. There are people being laid off, even though they're reporting record numbers for them as far as subscribers. Warner Brothers has 7 winning films this year. They've won. They've every single one of their movies has hit and made money, and which, unlike other studios, which most other studios haven't made a penny this year, they've lost money. They look great. Their numbers look good, but they're laying people off. And I think it's interesting how it appears as if David Zaslav is trying to make HBO Max look as attractive as possible. And I get what you're saying. It sounds like a long shot. But what if, and I'll get your opinion on this, what if David Zaslav, who is known for sort of piecing things out at businesses in order to make them work, separates Discovery, he separates these things, he drops that debt onto another company and then sells Max as part of that process to try to make Warner Brothers as profitable and as strong as possible. Is that possible?
Well, I mean, he wants Warner Brothers to be strong and profitable, but you got to remember a couple things. Okay, before the Ellison family, because the Ellison family is who founded SkyDance, they really bought this merger. I mean, SkyDance, let's be honest, they only had $300 million in cash as of this time last year. So, and then only like $100 million available for borrowing. So the Ellison family came in and made this purchase. Now, here's the thing. They need to make Paramount profitable and working and show that they can be successful there before they can even buy another debt asset. I mean, their stock price is going to, if they try to buy something else right now, they're going to freak out all the stockholders. Mm-hmm. They really got to show some profit earnings, some margins that are growing before they can make that choice. Now, maybe that is a plan they have down the road, and maybe, HBO Max, which is what the name of the damn app should have been the whole time.
Yep.
Maybe that is one that comes together. But, also maybe they're interested in buying something else. Maybe they're interested in buying maybe they're interested in buying an AMC, or maybe they're interested in buying a Showtime or one of these other smaller streaming platforms to bring in. If you're going to buy Warner Brothers, that's a huge merger. I mean, that's pretty much as big of a merger as buying Paramount, in my opinion. And now that Disney Plus is consolidating its streaming services, there are just less streaming services available out there for people to buy.
Right.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, isn't it? Wasn't there in the press the last sort of 48 hours that they've also brought in? This isn't obviously Star Trek, but they brought in the 2 guys behind Stranger Things have joined Paramount. So they it's positive. They seem to be building up quite a good little production arsenal from what I've seen.
We'll see if Stranger Things creators can have can duplicate their success. I mean, Stranger Things was this wonderful mesh, nostalgia 80s thing. We'll see if they can
even Stranger Things.
Right. I think they might have hit lightning in a bottle. I'm not convinced they can do it twice. The Russo brothers, I'm convinced they can do anything twice. if they really want to. But I'm not convinced those guys. But yeah, if it's a good purchase, if you're going to buy somebody, those are good guys to buy for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Star Trek. Hopefully, I'm going to stay positive here. Hopefully, in the next 2 years, we get some good news, and there's a lot of positivity that comes back to Star Trek. I'm staying positive on it.
That's good, because this gives me a positive center. But I'm positively not going to watch Strange New Worlds, and I'm positively not going to watch Star Trek Academy TV show, because I don't want to add one more viewer that might possibly get Alex Kurtzman another job.
Star Trek 90210.
Yeah, you can picture it now in the end credits, and it goes, "And thank you to Shane for renewing this Star Trek Academy for viewing it."
One and you're like, we needed to go over this.
One view we needed was you, Shane. We appreciate you.
Not happening. Not happening.
Let me tell you something. I'm not watching Academy either. I saw that picture of the gay Klingon, and I was like, "Whoa, I'm out. I'm not even gonna turn this on." It's just. We've gone too far.
As much as I want to see the Doctor, as much as I want to see him, I won't do it, because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to drag me in for him. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
I ain't doing
it. That trailer, I think I said to you, Brian, before, that made my body convulse just watching it, because it was that bad. It was so that bad. Offensive.
Dude, the gay Klingon is like too much. Like, what are you guys doing?
Well, it's not that. It's the Klingon Jem'Hadar hybrid as well.
The Klingon Jem'Hadar. Yeah. Dude, the thing is, just when you think they've gone as far as they can go before it's become parody of itself, they somehow go further. And you're like, of course they wouldn't have dancing Klingons. That's ridiculous. Oh, there they are. Fuck.
And I tell you what, if I find out from you guys that they've brought Cisco back in it, that is almost telling me to take up arms and go to the studios, to be honest with you.
Well, you're in luck. That will never happen, because he's not mentally fit to act anymore. But yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not mentally capable of coming back to a role, but that would be devastating.
Well, in the trailer they have this image where it's like, where is Cisco? And
not Captain Cisco.
Not Captain Cisco.
Oh yeah. It's probably maybe his didn't we see his son didn't we see his name at least in
and his son is very active online.
Yeah, but didn't we see him like in Picard season 3? Not him himself, but wasn't his name? Didn't it pop up somewhere? Or, I can't recall.
Oh, what the guy that played Jake?
Not the guy. I think maybe his name was on like a building or a board. I can't remember exactly. There were some weird Easter eggs that they threw in there, but he is definitely somebody who's vocalized that he wouldn't mind coming back and playing some Star Trek.
Of course, he wants to work. He's not a working actor. My question is this: how in the world would any Cisco be around in 900 plus years?
You know full well how he could be around, and
since
that's what makes me worry.
Canon no longer exists as we know it in the Star Trek universe, so they can do anything they want. Shove him through a wormhole. I don't know.
Oh, that's
again,
he's been living with the Bajoran wormholes.
That's true.
Yeah, the wormhole aliens have been living there, and that's why he's.
Well, he says at the end, doesn't he? In the final episode, he says when he goes back to Casti, he says, "I'll return. Could be a minute, could be 100 years." I'm paraphrasing, but that he says that to almost say time is immaterial to him, so he could pop up, and it makes me shudder because somewhere there's an Alex Kurtzman going, "Do you know what? We could recast Cisco, because what happens is Cisco's like an emissary now. He could actually be played by somebody completely different." And that's a Kurtzman mindset.
Yeah. Well, they could also use a relative down the line, a Cisco from the present, perhaps doing some sort of family lineage. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
This is actually a good point that Mark 47 brings up. How is every name on that wall 1,000 years in the future recognizable from Enterprise of TNG? Yeah. So they have this wall of like memory or whatever, but every name is like every character that we've been watching for the last 30 years. And you're like,
But that would be like us, like 2,000 years ago. You know, some people did something, and then there's a war about them. We go, yeah. Who are they? Yeah,
it's so weird. Like, out of all
the
millions of people in Starfleet, the only ones that are on there are the ones they happen to make TV shows about. I don't know.
That's how it works.
So what you're saying, Shane, is that
the future at all still is what's wrong with all this shit. That's, I mean, yes, you had to send Discovery into the future to fix everything, but did you have to stay there? No, you didn't. But you know what's great about this? As if it goes there and they fire Kurtzman and they realize, look, we can just call that a bad dream. It's happening so far into the future. Then you bring Legacy in and you just take off where they left off in Picard season 3, and it's full steam ahead. Yeah.
What about this? What about when they went into the time travel wormhole thing? They all actually instantly imploded. And what we've been witnessing is the minutes of death, and they're experiencing this mass hallucination together because they're dying inside the time stream, and none of it really occurs.
That's going in the happy place tank. That is. Thank you for that.
I accept all those answers. Any sort of massive death or non-continuation of this universe is happy.
Eaten by Klingons.
They open the Red Angel wormhole thing, and like they go, "Here we go, future," and they go, boom, and it just goes. It just explodes in a billion pieces.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "Oh,
just
they went
in
to
the cell."
Yeah, Spock's like they went to the future, but in reality, they just disintegrated into atoms.
I'd watch that.
The last shot.
I'd come back.
The last shot is a Michael Burnham tear. You know,
it's just floating in space. Just that one.
It all happens inside of a Michael Burnham tear.
I was going to say you see it floating the cell, but then I thought, oh yeah, they detached them, didn't they? In this stupid
that's right.
series.
Yeah, they don't even have them. Yeah, they're all floating.
That's fantastic.
It drives me. It's so crazy. When I talk to people on other panels, like I've gone to other streams, and they defend Discovery, and I'm like, how can you defend any of the choices they've made? Like, well, I like the cast, No, well, you're saying you like these actors. I want you to defend the storytelling. They go, well, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. The ship. How about this? How about the ship becoming sentient, and then considering its pronouns? Do you find that good storytelling? And he's like, well, no, that's someone's politics was put in the script, but like I can overlook that. I'm like, okay, but that's that's a central part of the story. You're overlooking
Abrams as the president of the corporation.
Yeah, you're overlooking essential parts of the story. There's entire episodes dedicated to that ship and her damn pronouns. You can't overlook the core elements of a story because you don't like the way they are. You have to criticize them or accept them.
And it's also everything's done by committee, so they have to have a big emotional tear-jerking moment before they can even decide to put the shields up or fire a photon torpedo. And by the time they've done that, they're already extinct because they've been wiped out.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to move on from Star Trek. This is turning into a hate Discovery Fest again. It always usually does whenever we talk about Star Trek.
It's easily done, isn't it?
We did have one more story, but we're out of time, so we're going to have to save that story for next week. I want you guys. I'm going to tease it though. Okay. AI chatbots send people into delusional spirals, and in one of these spirals, I'm not joking, a man was convinced by ChatGPT that he had superpowers and that he can levitate, and he tried to do it, and he wasn't.
I told you not to tell anyone about me, Brian.
And the crazy thing is, there's a lot of stories of people becoming institutionalized after being convinced by AI that they have diseases, superpowers, that they're reincarnations of celebrities. Apparently, it's very easy to convince dumb people dumb things. And now you have one of the most intelligent things created in human history talking to dumb people. And then we are confused as to how those dumb people are then becoming a cult member of a fake chatbot. We're going to talk about that next week.
Mental illness, people with mental illnesses also have access to AI. I'm just saying. Right. That's got to account for a certain percentage of the craziness going on.
We're going to
relationships as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're falling in love. This whole story is wild. We're going to talk about that next week. But now we are going to the members section. If you are not a member and you want to become a member, it's pretty simple. Hit the join button bottom. It's like right there, I think. It's like right there. Hit that join button and you could join us. We're going to spend about an hour in there just hanging out, shooting the shit, talking to you guys, talking about stuff that maybe shouldn't be on the public facing stream. So if you want to become a member, please do that. That is entirely how we are supported on this channel. And if you don't want to become a member, that's cool too. We'll see you next week. But either way, Shane, you have something to say before we leave?
I appreciate you guys all being patient with me as my son does his soccer. We had an early game. We didn't win today, unfortunately, but it's good to be able to do both. And thanks for making it so I can pop in here and hang out with you guys for a little bit each week.
Yeah, Shane was very disappointed, and on the way home, he was doing nothing but cursing on us. I can't believe you didn't win that game. How dare you embarrass me on that field?
But I was talking to my chat bot, so it was okay.
Yeah, it was this chat bot, right. John, where are we finding you tomorrow, bro?
You can find me on Sci-Fi Chronicles 7-9 on YouTube.
Links in the description.
And tomorrow we are doing, continuing our Stargate SG-1 Season 2 watch along, and I believe it is episodes 15 and 16 tomorrow. So it's a lot of fun. As we were saying at the beginning, come and join us. We watch the episodes together in Discord, and then we all comment along in the chat. It's just good, relaxing fun. We have a lot of laughs doing it, and Brian eats like a 4-course meal while we do it as well. So
yeah, I have
that's worth the money all by the viewing by itself. Yeah, I
have a personal Cambodian chef that I imported from Laos, and he does is he likes to cook Laos barbecue behind me where we're watching. And he feeds me on a platter. It's he's mouthy, but he's a good cook.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to the members section. We'll see you there, or we'll see you next time. Either way, we'll see you. Have an awesome weekend. Peace.
See ya.